And this goes us to automated marketing as well, because we were looking into the ROI and the metrics, like in terms of what you're getting in return from the investment as a member perspective and a sponsor perspective. Like, how do you track the progress of automated marketing as well, like when it comes to membership revenue or like association revenue?
Yeah, there are a lot of tools where that helps you track all of these things. I think first and foremost is that you will want to set your specific goals and objectives in the first place, so you can track whatever KPIs that you need for your for your analysis. So there are ways of doing that. So let's say for like that, if it's an event, then you can just track like the number of registrations. Or if it's for emails, then you can track the number of opens or the click rates. It really depends on what campaign it is and what channel you have your campaign in, to make sure that your metrics and the way that you're tracking it matches your objectives and your goals.
Right, right. And so in regards of that, like the key metrics is to understand like the open rate of your emails, the click-through rate through your emails as well, like whatever you're sharing with your members, as well when it comes to events, and like depends on like how many registrations that you have, and then compare it with the amount, like the number of attendance that you have from your members. The other thing is the resources aspect of it as well, like the resources that you have on your platform, and you're sharing, how many people are coming and viewing those resources for you. Is this mainly the key metrics that you should look into when it comes to automated marketing, or is there any other aspect to it?
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways to make, there are a lot of ways to create automated marketing. So it really depends on the channel that you have. So let's say for social media, it depends on like what level of engagement it is that you have for that. But there, you could also measure like the website traffic that it comes in. So for, let's say for this event that we're holding right now, so we have the email campaign for this, we have different forums, different channels of promoting this, and we can also track exactly where the registrants are coming from, so we know exactly where you're coming from what channel it is, and so that way we can measure and gauge and then pivot accordingly.
Right, right. Yeah, in that regards, like association usually face a lot of challenges, like due to lack of experience and as well as guidance when it comes to automated marketing or sponsorship itself, right? So what do you think are the common pitfalls or mistakes that associations should avoid when implementing like a sponsorship program, a sponsorship initiative, or an like automation initiative? Like this question goes out to both Ed and Lydia.
I guess a common pitfalls for when it comes to marketing is that really not setting the right objectives, because if you don't have the right objectives and the right goals in mind, then you would have the different expectations. And I've seen it several times where they want to create, let's say, brand awareness, but they're doing it to a different channel, and therefore they were expecting something else. And that's a common thing. If you don't have a full understanding of your tools, the features that you're in, that it has, and what it can do for your association, then of course the needs are not aligned. The value proposition of that tool also is not aligned with your needs. And that's where the pitfall can come in.
Right, right. And what does comes into like when you're working on a sponsorship initiative?
Yeah, can I say ditto? That was a great answer, Lydia. I think I think the main thing is understanding the value and understanding what you're offering. And the main pitfalls of a sponsorship program is just making assumptions and being like, people are there to give me money, and we should, like, I get that all the time. You're like, well, somebody should sponsor this for 50,000. I'm like, why? Like, why do you think that somebody should sponsor that for $50,000? Like that, it's hard to separate the two, that you're like so invested in your own association, which is a really great thing, and then trying to separate the fact that you now have to educate this potential sponsor about what you do, and also tell them why it's valuable for them to be involved. And also, not to mention that all of these sponsors have limited amount of dollars to spend and so much competition. like there are so many places to put money. Like, you give me a $50,000 sponsorship budget, I could spend that like that on like 1 or 5 organizations. Like it can go like this. So I think the biggest pitfall is to overestimate how much you think you can bring in. And I think that another one is when you bring sponsors in, you really nurture those relationships, because if you keep them warm and happy, then it's so much easier in year 2 and 3 and 4. But when you're not engaged with them, it's a lot harder coming back year over year saying, cut me a check again.
Right. And like Lydia did mention about, like, there are different types of automated marketing, as well as when it comes to sponsorship, there are different types of sponsorship initiatives as well. Like, what are the key like automated marketing initiatives that you can start with as an association, and it goes for the sponsorship as well? Like, what are the key sponsorship initiatives that you can start with as an association?
Yeah, I think that there was a study when it comes to membership that the first 90 days are crucial for a new member. So that's the whole onboarding process. And I think that's often overlooked by associations. If you're doing that, then that's great. That's amazing. That's something that's really contributing to your retention rate. So that's one of the things that we see that can be improved when it comes to associations, is to create that communication on the first 90 days or in the first 3 months of their member, and making sure that that member understands the value and they are reminded of your value proposition when as an association and why they are a member of your association. So often the disconnect is between, like, they are members now, okay, so they're counted as one member and that's it, and then you forget about them. So it is crucial to retain that member retention, member communication all throughout their member life cycle.
Right. And when you talk about the member life cycle itself, does it think, like, yeah, you already mentioned about onboarding itself, like the whole onboarding process and how crucial the first 90 days is, because if the member is engaged for the first 90 days with that decision itself, I believe that they can already make the decision if they are finding the value for their membership. And like, I believe that they can make the decision that if they want to renew the membership next year as well within the first 90 days, if they're able to get enough value out of it. And the whole idea of automated marketing and the existing engagement initiatives that you have for your association. And you did talk about the renewal process as well. Like, in terms of the renewal, like, you can put and create automated marketing initiatives as well. Is there any other membership journey process that you can think of where you can add automated marketing into it?
Yeah, I would just emphasize on the communication that you have during their membership. So making sure that they have several touch points in between. So you don't want to wait until the very last minute and see that, okay, they're not engaged. What do we do? Because by that time that you see that they're not engaged and they're up for renewal, and that's usually the time that you would look if they're engaged or not, it might be too late for the member to change their mind when it comes to the value of your association for them. So you want to make sure that consistent touch points are there for your members, and that can be done through automated marketing. So you don't have to constantly create content for them, make sure that you send an email to them. So it's all set up for you. All you have to do is just sit and relax and make sure that they're getting it.